Hi guys.
Hi guys.
So we are doing the Annapurna circuits in 7 days in the off season. It's currently day 1 and we've driven from Bessie Sahar all the way to Charme. We've roguely found ourselves in I think like a wine house.
We had quite a journey to get here. Maybe we can insert some clips of what it was like about here. We took a sharing jeep between Bessie Sahar and Charme.
The roads were quite bumpy, so it was pretty uncomfortable. We were quite lucky to see some wild honey, which is a type of honey that's hallucinogenic and grows on the mountainside.
Wild honey.
We also had quite a long stoppage due to a waterfall which started to overflow onto the road. This was caused by the heavy rain. It became too dangerous to drive through, so we had to wait for the rain to stop.
It was a crazy ride. We just had 5 hours going from Bessie Sahar to Charme. Some of you may have heard that the original walking route started in Bessie Sahar, but now there is a road that goes all the way to Manang, which is one of the main towns in the Annapurna region. We've decided to drive up to Charme just because we're a little bit limited on time.
Our first stop on the Annapurna circuit is Manang Valley Winery. We were expecting something a little bit rough. We ended up somewhere quite bougie.
For our first day of hiking, we'll be walking from Charme to Pasang.
We have lift off.
Warm enough to get the shorts on. We're just on the first suspension bridge on our trip around the Annapurna circuit. Take a look at that. Unbelievable scenes. What are you saying, Luke?
Found an acorn the size of my head.
We've just finished our first day of proper hiking. We're in Upper Pasang, which is 3,300 meters. We're going to spend the night here. We're going to have a nice relaxing time. England are playing in the Euros tonight, so we're trying to find a place to watch the game. We were quite lucky to have views of Annapurna 2 as we reached Upper Pasang. Annapurna 2?
Annapurna 4.
4.
3.
3? Annapurna 3. Maybe.
I think 3 is behind.
Yes.
3 is behind. So clear. So beautiful.
We just ordered the Nepalese traditional dish with dal bhat, but this is our second serving. It's basically unlimited. You have a small serving to begin with and they ask you want more, and then they just like unload a plate full of rice bigger than your first serving onto it, and then more curry.
It's so tasty. This morning we have buckwheat bread, and the buckwheat is grown locally to here in Upper Pasang, so we were recommended to have this by a guide to try the local delicacy.
It's a very new flavour. Little bedroom tour. We got 2 beds and the highlight of the room is the view.
We've just woken up in Upper Pasang and we're heading over to Manang. It's about a 5-hour journey. This is the Green Lake, which is sometimes blue and sometimes clear.
Annapurna 2.
It is absolutely steaming on our walk. Got the shorts out, got a sun hat on. Lucy's in her shorts too. Off we go. So one of the main features of the Annapurna track is that there is a road that goes all the way to Manang, and actually from Pasang you don't leave the road much, so we're just following the road all the way up for about 5 hours today.
Although we have only seen 1 vehicle on it in the last 2 hours.
Yeah, not so bad.
Road.
Manang, 2,540 meters. Forgot what day we're on. Day 4? Day 3. the run. We've woken up to a cloudy day in Manang and we're off to Yatkarka today. It's about a 4-hour walk. How you feeling, Lise?
Really good. I was tired last night, but legs feeling fresh this morning. Manang from beyond.
What a beautiful view.
You see all the traditional houses. We really love Manang. It felt quite local. Really beautiful mountain village.
We've been following that river through that valley the whole time. But now we're turning right up this way through this valley to head towards Yatkarka.
We're at a rest stop now. One of the best things about hiking in the off season is we've still got the sun out and no one else is here. We haven't passed a single hiker today. The mountains are ours.
So you might be able to see the colour difference here on Loose today. The sun is absolutely beating down.
It's so hot, the sun's so close. I haven't put on enough sun cream.
Oh, savage. We've just had our first sight of Yatkarka, which is where we're staying tonight. What a beautiful spot. Look at all the pollen it's collected on its neck, on its legs. Unbelievable. There's our final destination for the day, right, Yatkarka. So Lower Yatkarka has a elevation of 4,000 meters, and there's Upper Yatkarka, which is 4,200. We stay here for a night, and then we crack on tomorrow morning.
This is sea buckthorn juice. Sea buckthorn is a local fruit-bearing plant. Comes from a little bush. It's like a small berry. Locals make juice out of it. Also pickles and food and medicine. And this is the first time we're trying it. That's delicious. It tastes like orange and mango juice.
So one of the nice things about the Annapurna region is that they have these safe drinking water stations where you can fill up your water bottles and not constantly have to buy new bottled water.
They've oh, you just ring the bell. Just don't want to come if anyone's around like that. They oxidise it all on site, and a lot of them are run by women's cooperatives.
And it's a bit cheaper than the water that you can buy in the shop. It's about 60 rupees for a refill, rather than often about 150 rupees for one bottle. The next stage of our walk was going from Yatkarka to Thorongpedi. We've got our first sighting of yaks here. We've even got some baby yaks here. The dog joined us for the first ever walk, and it's made friends with the little yak baby. So it's our fourth day of walking. We're currently going from Yatkarka to either Thorongpedi or the Thorongla High Camp. We'll make a decision later based on how we feel, but it's about a 4-hour walk today.
We're probably about 4,200 meters up at the moment, and the sun is blaring, so lots of sun cream on.
Both of us in short sleeves. There's quite a big difference from how it was in Everest Base Camp walk, where we're pretty much wearing 2-3 layers each day. Whereas now we're in sun hats and short sleeves. It's pretty pleasant. A pretty amazing view in front of us. We're about to cross over onto that side of the valley, which is a bit of a shortcut, but a bit more dangerous as there's more rockfalls. Whereas the longer route and a bit safer is up there. What an incredible mountain view. We have just crossed this bridge, which we think is the longest we've had so far in Annapurna and Everest region.
I'm a bit out of breath from that uphill. This is what part of the trail looks like. Big landslide here, the river is Bobby ahead. You can see a little landslide ahead of us, which we're going to walk through as well.
So here we go. This is where it gets slightly more dangerous. Walking through the landslide area, we have to walk one by one across the landslide area just for safety. Let's see how it goes. Going well so far in the landslide area. Loose behind me over there. Just made it to Thorongpedi, 4,450 meters. So we got to Thorongpedi around 11 o'clock. We've just been here for about 2 hours resting. And we've decided to walk up to the high camp.
About an hour up hill, but it will save us an hour of walking tomorrow morning.
The steepest hour of tomorrow as well, so getting it done whilst we're feeling fresh and hopefully it helps us out tomorrow.
Feeling fresh, mate.
All the way up there, that's where the high pass camp is.
We've just made it to the wrong high camp. I'll stop for the night after a 300 metre, pretty much straight ascent. Whew.
Today we will be going up from Thorongpedi to Mukhtanath through the Thorongla Pass.
Day 5, 6 of walking. We've just woken up. It's 5:30 in the morning. We've woken up to this view of Annapurna and Annapurna 3. We're going to have our breakfast and then we've got our biggest day of walking across Thorongla Pass. We go up to 5,400 metres, so I think 800 metres up, 600 metres up, and then 1,000 metres down to a little village called Mukhtanath.
This is what the high camp looks like. Down here was our room for the night. What an incredible spot. Quite a mystical feeling this morning, walking through some clouds. Changed quite quickly, but we can still see a couple peaks up there. We're not 100% sure, but we think the pass is up there. Thorongla Pass. Thorongla Pass.
Now we start the descent.
It was a long road down to Mukhtanath as we started from 5,400 metres and went down to 4,800. It would be our first time heading into the Mustang region.
We've really enjoyed having sea buckthorn juice in the Annapurna region. This is a very special one because it could be our very last one. It's impossible to get, or we think it's impossible to get once we leave this region. And this is Mukhtanath.
Looks beautiful and green from afar. I was slightly surprised by the number of high-rise buildings that are there. Out right there is the 7th tallest mountain in the world, Dalgiri.
After a night's rest in Mukhtanath, we decided to take a jeep to go from Mukhtanath all the way to Gorabani. From Gorabani we'd be able to go up to Poon Hill, which is meant to have an amazing panoramic view. We were lucky enough to have a new road between Mukhtanath and Dadapani, but after that the roads became pretty treacherous. It was probably one of the worst roads we've ever driven on, but it was quite a fun experience to go up this way on a jeep. It took about a whole day of driving, including breaks in the middle, to look at some landmarks. We were definitely happy to have a day off from hiking and give ourselves a chance to rest properly.
So we've just woken up in Gorabani and the plan for today was to go up to Poon Hill. I'll post a photo of what Poon Hill is meant to look like, but unfortunately this is what it looks like outside. Yeah, just incredibly cloudy, quite white, so we are skipping out on Poon Hill unfortunately and heading straight to Pokhara.
We've got our raincoats ready. We're expecting a wet walk on our way to Pokhara as we're now at a lower altitude.
Yeah, and we're walking through some sort of forest jungle type sort of terrain. First we walked to Ulluri from Gorabani, which is like a 3-hour hike. We're quite worried about the leeches, so currently got socks tucked in to the trousers. So just trying to stay as safe as possible. We'll let you know how we get on and maybe see you in Pokhara.
Last hike of Nepal.
Let's go. Last day of hiking, how are you feeling, Lise?
Pretty excited. New place, new hiking, but most excited just to stop hiking and be in a nice bed. Today I got my raincoat, North Face raincoat. I got some, fake North Face, Under Armour tracksuit, Under Armour walking trousers, hiking boots, and you can't go wrong with a sturdy, sweaty bay underlayer.
Some North Face for me as well, from Kathmandu. Some sick trousers, lots of zips. You see that? Some more zips here. And do you know what? Stand back, because I can even take these off. Look at that, that's my knee, right there. Look at the airflow, unbelievable. And to finish off, socks tucked in, tucked in to stop the leeches. Let's go. So despite being in rainy season, it was our first time using raincoats and rain covers on our bags on our Annapurna circuit.
We're sheltering from the rain.
This is quite different to the rest of what we've experienced in the Annapurna circuit. We're in the middle of a forest, sort of a rainforest with these ancient looking trees, like a really old path. It's quite beautiful.
There's a tree as well.
Whoa.
Just walking along the path, really enjoying today's walk. It's rainy but really beautiful.
Absolutely magical here.
We've got the river below us.
You will not believe, but there was a leech.
The
on
leech has
Lucy.
found my crotch. Oh no.
Oh my god, that's crazy. You got blood.
Get off.
Did you get that? Oh, it's on.
Have you got it?
I think I got him. We are getting absolutely hammered by leeches.
I'm being hammered. Look how much blood there is. Not only are we being hammered, but we're having to run away from it. And when running, it's so slippy. And if I have a look at all this mud. What happened there?
I was running away from the leeches, had a fall, but got up quicker than I ever had in my life before trying to avoid
You got
these leeches.
up way quicker than you fell.
This is crazy. Adding extra layers of protection. This is going to be my third pair of socks. These are hiking socks as well, and merino wolves are really thick to help protect us from the leeches, but it's over 23, 24 degrees right now, so it's steaming. I am hot, but anything to stop these leeches from attacking me.
They're really dangerous. Look at that. You need to protection necessary.
This is just some additional salt protection. We added some more. We added it to us. We've been in the water today, haven't we, Lise?
Absolute wars. We've been attacked by a playful dog. The rain was bucketing it down.
Monsoon season.
Now sweating my pants off. It's so hot, even though I'm wearing so many waterproof layers. But worst of all,
The leeches. We literally had to run about half a kilometre to get away from these leeches. We're still in a leechy area, but I had a little fall earlier.
basically pushed over by the leeches.
Yeah. This basically feels like SAS, where we got backpacks on, got our rain jackets on, running through the rain in the forest.
Now look, there's a roadblock ahead, as if we haven't been through it all.
You're not ready to see this, but they are absolutely staring us down. Oh wait, there's no zoom. 1 sec.
We'll get closer, we'll get closer.
We'll get
If
closer.
we can, I mean, we should probably put our shields on.
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh.
God.
A roadblock. So we are on a crazy downhill route. Unfortunately, there's been roadblocks all the way on the road we were meant to take down towards Pokhara. So we're just having to walk down further and further in order to be able to get a jeep or a bus. It's adding probably about another 2 hours of walking to our journey, so it's not too bad at the moment, although it could get worse.
Hope for us.
Yeah.
It's only 2 more hours.
Fingers crossed for us, it's only a maximum of 2 more hours, but we're mentally prepped for longer. And that's just 2 hours to the bus station or jeep station, and then we have another about 2.5 to 3 hours to get back to Pokhara. It's a bit of a long route, but we're mentally prepped for it.
And the rain stopped.
The rain has stopped, which is good. Unfortunately, the roads are blocked due to landslides from heavy rains last night. As obviously, yes, we're in the monsoon season, and that's one of the risks with trying to get back home. But hopefully,
locals call it, they say, there is a terrible monsoon going on at the moment.
yeah. So hopefully, we'll get back all right. We'll keep you updated.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, landslides meant we had to continue walking down all the way to Birazanti, and we hoped we could pick up a taxi from there. These are some of the landslides that are caused by the rain last night and blocking the roads.
Entirely blocking our way home, so we'll walk down past all the landslides.
Final checkout. So we have just ended up walking to Biratanti, which ended up being quite a long walk. Maybe, how long was it?
19 kilometers. Most of it being downhill though.
Yeah, so 19 kilometers all the way from Gorabani, just because there were so many road blockages. This was our only way out.
We walked all the way down to the tarmac road. The road above was all gravel, which doesn't really work in the monsoon season.
So we have just come back from the Annapurna circuit and we're relaxing now. We thought we'd give you some highlights on what we thought about it. So Lucy, do you want to go first?
We did a particular version of the Annapurna circuit, which was 8 days. We did it at the mid-June, so we had some sunny days and 1 or 2 rainy days as we went further down in altitude.
I think for me, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really beautiful, some amazing views. Obviously, it's nice to be hiking in the Himalayas where you get to see lots and lots of mountains, many of which snow-capped. So it's a really special experience for me.
We thought the accommodations throughout the Annapurna circuit, we stayed in different locations each night. Every night we got a relatively clean private room in quite pretty villages, tea rooms where we stayed. Almost all of the hosts we had were unbelievably friendly and helpful, and we had a fire in some of them some evenings. Our daily rhythm on the Annapurna circuit, we'd wake up around 6:37 and have breakfast in the tea house, often like a warm bowl of porridge, which was tasty enough and fuel for the day, nothing to write home about. And then we'd leave around 7:38 and we'd walk for maybe 5-6 hours, but slow, and that 5-6 hours included breaks. And it was really nice to arrive at the next accommodation around in time for a late lunch, and then we'd relax for the afternoons.
Yeah, one of the main benefits of doing it during the off season is that we didn't really have to pre-book any accommodation. We could just walk in and choose whichever one we wanted, although there only tend to be 1 or 2 open in each town that we came to. The other part was that the paths were completely free, and so we basically saw nobody on the entire trail until maybe the big Thorongla Pass day, where people are sort of bunched and congregated together. So it was really incredible to have lots of the path just to ourselves.
And when you say people congregated together, there were probably a group of 5 or 6 of us. We weren't quite talking in the 10s or the 100s.
Yeah, that definitely felt like a congregation when we hadn't seen anyone for days whilst we were doing the Annapurna. We did just do the Everest Base Camp trek before doing the Annapurna circuit, and you'll be able to find another video somewhere there. But in terms of the main comparisons, I think for me, I definitely enjoyed probably the Everest Base Camp trek a little bit more. I felt more removed from society, and you know, on the Annapurna trek there is a road which you follow pretty much for every single day apart from 3 or 4. And there's electricity lines that you're walking alongside for most of the time there. So I just felt more disconnected in the Everest region, which I enjoyed. How about you, Lise?
Yeah, exactly the same. Annapurna region felt a lot more comfortable and connected, so we weren't maybe physically pushing ourselves as much, better night's sleep. But pros and cons of both depending on what we were after. It was nice. I like the Everest to push ourselves and be away from the vehicles and the cars. And if anything went wrong in the Everest, we would have been a helicopter away from a rescue, whereas anything went wrong in Annapurna, we were maximum a day away from a road.
Yeah, I think it was definitely a much harsher environment in Everest. The air felt colder, the rooms were much colder, there was no Wi-Fi, we didn't shower for 10 days, we slept above 4,500 for about 9 days, whereas we only slept above 4,500 for 1 day on the Annapurna. So it's definitely, I think, a more comfortable experience doing the Annapurna region.
I'm really pleased that we tried both. The paths on the Annapurna region are a lot wider than the Everest region. So even though we hear that more guests visit the Annapurna region, I imagine in peak season it still feels a little bit emptier just because there's no... in the Everest region, they're like single file paths, so you're queuing to cross bridges and stuff like that, whereas I imagine that's less of the case in the Annapurna region in the peak season. I thought one of the particularly fun things about Annapurna was getting to the start of the walk for us. So we got a public bus to Bessie Sahar,
Uh-huh.
and then drove in a Jeep all the way to Charmey. It was a 6-7 hour drive on really, really rocky roads following a valley. At times we had to go into 4-wheel drive and cross waterfalls. I've never been on roads like that. It's probably down as top 10 most dangerous roads, and it could be in the world. And that was quite thrilling for us, but I always felt safe.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that experience too. But yeah, driving underneath the waterfall is particularly scary because you get lots of small pebbles and rocks coming down at the car.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.